Okay, so back to working on this thing. So since I tore the brakes apart on this because I was trying to do something with Mini Cooper, obviously. And originally I was going to swap him out and I was going to put the bigger brakes on here and do all that stuff. Well, new plan of action, because that didn't work on the Mini Cooper. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to swap the rear brakes that are on this car to the front and the front to the rear, because whoever built this car originally, they had the smaller CX brakes in the front. It has like the 9-inch rotors up here. Well, my buddy, when he put the engine in, he put the bigger brakes in the rear, so it has like the 10-inch rotors back here. Why you would want to do that, I don't know. Which is why we're going to swap the big ones to the front, because that makes a hell of a lot more sense. And while we're at it, we're actually going to hook up the rear brakes, because currently they're not hooked up. They're just hooked up to nothing. They're blocked off. So we're going to get all of that working, and then hopefully the brakes will work. It might still need an adjustable prop valve, but we can at least test this out and see what happens. Well, scratch that idea. So they had to put in obviously the outer joint from a CV axle so that the bearing doesn't come apart. It will not come off. This totally stuck on there. I could use my torch. However, I'm out of oxygen for my torch. So really, the only thing I could do is fucking leave it. And he didn't even ask me to do this, so I guess, yeah, we're gonna put that one back on the back. And we're gonna put my new brakes on the front, because he might as well just take them, because I'm not gonna use them. And yeah, we'll still hook up the rear brakes. Hopefully it works. It's obviously gonna have more brake in the rear, but at least the proportioning valve should restrict some of the flow to the rear. I don't know, we'll find out. Let's just fucking throw it back together. And just like that, all of the, all the brakes are done. I got them all bled and everything. It's kind of interesting. They had, because it has brake booster delete, they actually cut a hole right here. I had to put a funnel through here to actually fill it, which, whatever, I guess that works. I did have to, obviously I cut those two lines down because it had AN fittings on there, and I just got some, original fittings and flared them and put them on there. And yeah, it worked. I mean, everything, all the bleeders opened, everything bled out. So, I mean, I think we're okay. The only really problem we have at this point is that, holy shit, the alignment is so fucked. I didn't even notice until I put it in the air, but if you look at that wheel, you can see that fucker is towed in so hard, and the other side is too. And I don't know if it's because it's missing some of the traction bar stuff. It's definitely has some movement in it, and it shouldn't. The lower ball joint was kind of iffy too. I think he needs to get some new control arms, because it's got these aluminum ones in there, and he had put a whole bunch of fucking washers on there to tighten it up, and it still doesn't tighten down. So I think it needs those control arms, probably needs at least this ball joint. It might need the other one too, I don't know. But yeah, at least that part of it's figured out. So on to the next thing. Okay, so I went through, I replaced all of those fuel lines, all of them. The feed line, return line, everything. From cell to the rail, everything. So in theory, we shouldn't have any more fuel leaks. I did cycle the key 10 times or something, because I was trying to get all the fuel through there, make sure there's no air bubbles, because we really want to make sure I got pressure on the lines to see if there's any leaks. And at the moment, I think we're okay. So I guess we're going to try and start it again and see what happens. Engine's hella noisy, but it runs. Supposedly this is like a rebuilt bottom end situation that one of my buddies put together, and I guess it's never ran before. So I don't know. It could also just be really loud because it's inside the cabin of the vehicle. I don't know. But it runs. Well, now that it's obviously running, it runs now. I decided I was going to fill it with coolants, which has been a whole thing. I tried to vacuum fill it. It didn't really want to hold 100% vacuum, which I've had that problem with Hondas in general. Like older Hondas, it seems like they won't take a vacuum fill no matter what you do. Even if, like usually I clamp this little line off right here for the reservoir, but still didn't work. Like it pulled 22 inches of vacuum, but you could tell it was like slowly bleeding off, which is whatever. So I tried to fill it, but it would only take like a little over a gallon, and I'm like, there's no fucking way. This thing's got to take like 3 gallons, I bet. So I ran it for a little bit with purging funnel on it. It was trying to overheat, obviously. So I took some hoses off back here in the rear and just kind of like opened them up. And of course, there was a whole shitload of air in there. I've done that a couple times now. I'm starting to get coolant back here because it's actually feeling like the hoses are starting to get warm, but the hoses at the radiator aren't really warm yet. So I ran it for a little bit, shut it off. When I did that, it finally it pulled a whole bunch of coolant down from the funnel, so I added a bunch. Now I'm just kind of letting it sit, cool off for a second, then I'm going to try it again. But I think we're on the right path. Hopefully I can get this thing bled out. What are we doing on here, Joe?
Don't you want me to run the line?
Yeah. So these guys are running the water lines for the intercooler pump because we figured out that works. I am now building a new harness bar. We're just kind of, doing some kind of jank rigging stuff, but it's gonna work.
There's no jankery.
There's jankery. We're just gonna put a new harness bar in here. I bent this one up with the tubing bender, obviously. It's back far enough that it should clear the seat. I got the seat bracket done. Seat's back there. We'll show you here in a second, but for the moment, I got this tacked in, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm gonna put the seat in, make sure it clears, and then we'll do some more welding. So this is the seat that we're putting in this one. It's the biggest Kirky that they make, so that he can fit in here. And you'll see, I've already got this bracket. It was a EG, just universal seat bracket, but it didn't fit. So basically what I did is I cut up the passenger side, and then I welded it onto this side and bolted it on. It's working out pretty good. Basically the problem was that this L bracket did not reach. So now that it does, it actually fits in there pretty well. I had him sit in it already, so we know it's where it needs to be. I just need to make sure that this is in the right spot in relation to the harness bar. Hopefully it is. Okay, here's with the seat installed. You can kind of see what I got going on. So obviously this original brace was way too low. So now we got this one up here. It's kind of hard to show you because it keeps focusing in and out, but it's about right because basically you want it either come straight out or about 15 degrees down. So as long as I wrap it on the top side of that, should be good. The only issue that I did kind of have is that because of the way the firewall is right here, it's really close, and this bend, unless I went all the way through the firewall and then back, the problem is that I have a little bit of a bend right there. So that's kind of shitty, but it's so the harness is going to be a little bit of an angle on that side, but I think we'll be okay. I don't think it'll cause any problems. It'll still be way safer than it was before. That's for damn sure. It's in there.
I'm in here.
You're in there.
Stuffed in here.
Yeah, got the harnesses in. He fits. Now, for some reason, it doesn't start. I think we need a ground. This thing moves. Joe didn't want to drive it because he didn't want to have to get back out of it again. Shakedown. It's fucking weird. Alright, I drove it around a little bit, messed with the alignment. Didn't do it like crazy, but it's better than it was. And now he's taking it home. I drove it around a couple times, it was doing pretty good. So yeah, it's gonna be to be continued because I gotta do more work to it, but for the moment, look at that thing. It drives. Well guys, I think that's going to be it on this one. Obviously I wish I could show you some burnout videos, some cookies, all that kind of stuff, all the fun stuff. But unfortunately, because that engine is like a brand new rebuild, they need to break it in. So yeah, once I get it broke in, then we'll probably mess with the tune a little bit, and then we can go do some fun stuff. Obviously, the next time I show it probably won't be a full video. We'll have to do some sort of shorter videos just so you guys can kind of see it. Ice Cream Cruise is coming up next month, and in theory that car should be there. Hopefully I have the Mini there, we'll see, but as long as all that works out, I should be able to get some video of that EG again so you can see it. But it is very nice to have that thing out of my garage, so now I have more room for the Mini Cooper and all that stuff, because that thing has been in my garage for at least a year. It's been a long time it's been sitting in there. So it's nice to see it moving, especially since that thing sat in a field for like 7 years or whatever and was very neglected. I mean, it's still in rough shape. It is, but it's getting better. It's getting better. It's drivable now. That's a plus. Hopefully he wants to put more money into it. We can, do some more things to it and try to get it better. I mean, in theory, I think he does want to race it, so I know for sure we're at least going to try and get the alignment dialed in a little bit better and, try to get the tune right, all that kind of stuff. But that's for another day. So for the moment, like, subscribe, do all things. Peace out.